Welcome back, folks, to Ratchet and Clank. We are now going to Poketaru. Nope. Kortu. Nope.
Nope.
Poketaru. Psych.
Nice.
This is
Good. You got him. Got him.
Who's that Poketaru?
Yeah. This is the knockoff version. This is the island stage.
This is your obviously tropical Hawaii type thing.
Yeah, and it's good. I feel like they don't really. There's a lot to this level. There's like an on-foot portion, then there's a water rafting portion, then there's like an underwater portion, then there's a flying portion. So you really do see a lot of this tropical resort. One thing I like about this level is that we're introduced to I can't remember his name, but the mechanic who Ratchet and Clank lives with, who we meet at the beginning of the game. This guy is his brother. And I sort of like how, you actually meet other family members halfway across the galaxy.
For some reason, that guy reminds me of the big guy from Lilo and Stitch.
Jumba?
Sure.
I can't remember his name.
Got 3 eyes, or maybe he only has 1 eye. He's got something weird about his eyes.
He's got 4 eyes.
4 eyes, okay.
He looks like a fish guy.
Lilo and Stitch is a movie that I like a lot and can never remember anything about. Like, I remember when I rented that movie, like, when I first originally saw it and it originally came out, and I remember watching it and thinking it was super good, and then watching it a second time while I had that rental and still thinking it was super good, and I always forget about it for some reason.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Like, I find, I watched it a ton as a kid, and it's pretty much stuck with me. But the character's name was, Jumba Jukiba, voiced by David Ogden Stiers.
Oh, it's funny because I recently found out that they had censored, I think, the theatrical version of it, and I had no idea.
Yeah, they censored it. I think they also had to take out like this sequence where the ship was flying like pretty close to buildings because it was they were afraid.
Thing.
Yeah, they were afraid that it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was too close to a national attack.
I always found this super interesting. There's a. You guys ever seen Wayne's World?
Oh yeah.
A long time ago.
All right, so Wayne's World is a fantastic film, but there's a joke in there where Wayne goes into a guitar store, and he opens up the guitar that he wants to buy, that he's been pining after for the entire movie, and he starts to play a riff, and the guy like stops him and points to a sign, and the sign says "No Stairway to Heaven." But it's interesting because in the theatrical version, he actually played the opening notes to Stairway to Heaven. But Led Zeppelin is notoriously very stingy about who they license their music out to, though it seems like it's sort of freed up a little bit. Oh my god, that fish is flipping out. So in the VHS version, which is the version that I grew up with, it's not Stairway to Heaven that he plays. It's just sort of like a bunch of random guitar notes, but the joke is still there. And it's like a very weird disconnect because the joke is based on you being able to hear Stairway to Heaven and then him point to the sign, and it's just but you don't get that in the VHS release. It's very strange.
Interesting. Yeah, it's always it's always interesting when movies do that. I mean, Star Wars being the biggest offender.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what happened with Star Wars?
Oh, everything.
Just the fact that every version changes. Stuff? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, no, not only that, but Han shot first and a few other things.
Yeah, that's all special edition stuff.
Yeah. This. Actually, I had another point about Lilo and Stitch. I love what they did with the Family Channel series, because in one of the I think in Stitch the movie, which was the sequel to the first one. The first sequel.
The direct-to-video sequel.
Yeah, that's right. They introduced Stitch's cousins, all 600 and something of them.
Speaking of, sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, and the series actually explored them capturing all of them, not unlike Pokemon.
Speaking of which, they made a Lilo and Stitch anime series, I think.
Wait,
anime?
An anime?
Yeah, I'm going to look this up just to make sure I wasn't dreaming this one day.
This sounds like a fever dream.
I think they made a Lilo and Stitch anime.
It's called Stitch.
So I will say that Disney stuff is very, very big in Japan. You kind of see it everywhere.
Oh yeah.
When I was in Japan, the two pieces of music I heard in basically every single store I went to were the theme song to Your Name.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Which is that's a really good song actually. I like that song a lot. That song and the song, like the main song from Moana. Like,
oh really?
We're just everywhere.
Wait, which one?
Honestly, I don't remember. I liked Moana. The only song I remember is the one that Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords sings, because that's the best one, because it sounds like David Bowie and it's great.
Which one? You're Welcome or Shiny?
Yeah, Shiny.
I didn't like Shiny.
Shiny's the best song of that movie.
Really?
No, it's You're
that
Welcome.
might be my least favorite. Yeah, I dig You're Welcome.
Y'all are nuts. Shiny is perfect. Bowie prestige.
Speaking of Moana, though, can we just sort of, like, not ignore the fact that Maui basically tried to low-key kill Moana, like, every other scene?
I mean, he wasn't exactly the coolest guy to start with. Maybe not to end with, either.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, he's like a hero and all this other thing. He's so great. And I'm just like, he just, like, I wish I could watch it again, just so I could count, like, how many times did Maui try to kill Moana?
Man, I can't believe... I'm just really in awe about this Lilo and Stitch anime, with what I assume is a classic episode called... hold on. It's about to load. Oh, I lost it. Shit.
Oh, it's okay. We're just in an auto-scroller sequence.
The episode is called A Very Stinky Christmas.
Wow. I wonder what that's about.
This anime has a 4.6 out of 10 at IMDb.
Wow.
Quality.
Yeah, but I never actually watched the anime, but I just I remember hearing it a bunch of years ago that it just was going to exist. I'm just like, what?
All of Lilo's friends in this thumbnail that I'm looking at, they look like they're straight out of the Weekenders.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that, but I was definitely thinking that. They definitely have a Weekenders vibe to them.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. Like, a part of me is so curious, but I don't know if that's how I want to spend 20 minutes.
You have 8 seasons to get through. So
Wow.
you better get
8
started.
seasons?
Wait, it had 8 seasons?
Yeah.
Is that the anime, or are you thinking the
This
the
is
Family
Stitch,
Channel TV?
exclamation point, which is supposedly the anime.
Oh my god, you're right.
I'm
Yeah,
looking,
8
I'm
seasons.
looking that it has like 25 episodes. The animated television series had 25. Oh wait, I'm seeing 3 seasons. Oh.
Yes, here you go. There were actually 3 what's the word I'm looking for? Not concurrent. I don't remember. Whatever. One of them follows the other. They each follow the other, and there's 3 different Japanese anime series that are just Stitch.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know it went on for that long. It went on until 2011, and there's like a new special in 2015.
Wow.
Or no, 2012. Or,
So here are the series. It starts off with Stitch. Then it goes to Stitch, The Mischievous Alien's Great Adventure. And then we move right on to Stitch, Best Friends Forever.
Aww.
You know.
Speaking of Best Friends Forever, Ratchet and Clank, yeah, this section is pretty much a gauntlet. It can be pretty taxing, actually, because you really have to manage your resources well in this section. There is no hope of refilling your ammo for anything here.
Yeah,
What's this guy's name again?
There's some tricky parts in this game.
Yeah, in this part of the level, they throw at you these giant brain things, and unlike the previous the level from like 2 episodes ago, you don't have your jetpack, so you're limited to basically just ground to air battle. So yeah, get those Groovitons out. It's really the only way to stave these guys off.
Oh, I never did that.
Oh, were you blaster only, Dan?
Yeah, pretty much. I was a lot of Combustor, for sure. Lots of Combustor, lots of Pixelizer.
You must have been like level 1000 for your Combustor by the end of the game.
Oh yeah, dude.
Goddamn.
That's what I did. I maxed out. I focused on one weapon as long as I could until I maxed it out, and then I just used only I just went sort of weapon by weapon. Like by the end of the game, I was maxed out with almost every weapon. Like pretty
Really?
close. Yeah, I not all the time, but I was definitely close.
I'm surprised. I would imagine you get more chances to level up if you're rotating through a bunch of weapons at a time
Nah,
instead
man,
of
you gotta
going like
min-max.
one by one.
Always min-max.
Cause like if there was like a new plus mode in this game, yeah, I would totally focus on like making sure each weapon was leveled up one by one. But there's no such thing in this game, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna use what I feel like using for the situation.
I want to say that Going Commando had a new game plus mode in it.
That's the
Could
second
be
game,
making
right?
that up though. That's the second one.
Yeah.
This guy sounds like he's like reciting some D&D stuff.
You can pixelate the character
Crazy.
before actually walking in for the animation.
I think this character, who is in the original Ratchet and Clank game, with like new updated good fur tech, looks super weird.
I don't mind. Big Owl is.
I don't like
Big
his
Owl.
weird like beard thing. It weirds me out, man.
But like his beard isn't
He
really a
looks
beard.
like
It's just like a different
like a
shade.
Chuck E. Cheese animatronic. Rest in peace.
He's a gigantic Garfield.
Yeah, I expect to see him in the next Five Nights at Freddy game.